everyone. Welcome back to Inspire Talks, where words heal, stories inspire, and hearts connect. Today's story is about a boy named Rohan, who used to see himself through everyone else's eyes. Until one day, he realized that the mirror he was looking into had been lying all along. If you've ever felt not good enough, this story will speak directly to you. So sit back, close your eyes, and listen, because this might be the reminder your heart needs today. Cloud with Rain Chapter 1, The Boy in the Mirror. Rohan was 18, tall, quiet, and painfully ordinary. At least, that's what he thought of himself. Every morning, he stood in front of the mirror. Not to admire himself, but to list the things he hated. Too thin. Not smart enough. Not confident like others. That mirror reflected his face. But it also reflected every insecurity the world had planted in his mind. Books Chapter 2, The Perfect Others. Rohan's college was filled with achievers. Toppers, dancers, confident speakers, people who always seemed better. Whenever he saw them, a small voice whispered inside, "You'll never be like them." He stopped trying new things because he feared being laughed at. Stopped answering in class because someone once said, "Bro, your accent sounds funny." And slowly, he began to disappear into the background. The boy nobody noticed. The boy who pretended he was invisible. Chapter 3, The Day It All Snapped. One evening, Rohan came home after a failed presentation. He locked himself in his room, opened social media, and scrolled endlessly. Pictures of people smiling, winning awards, achieving dreams. And he thought, why not me? He shut his phone and looked into the mirror again. Tears rolled down his face as he whispered, "Maybe I really am nothing." That night, he didn't cry loudly. He just sat there, staring at a version of himself he didn't want to be anymore. Chapter 4, The Unexpected Mentor. The next morning, he dragged himself to the library. There sat Mr. Arjun, his philosophy teacher, reading alone. Mr. Arjun noticed Rohan's dull eyes and said, "Sit down, son. You look like you've been fighting someone." Rohan forced a smile, "Just fighting myself, sir." Arjun chuckled softly. "Then you're fighting the toughest enemy." He handed Rohan a small note and said, "Read this before you sleep tonight." Scroll Chapter 5, The Note That Changed Everything. That night, Rohan unfolded the note. It said, "Comparison is the thief of joy. The only person you need to be better than is the one you were yesterday." Under it was another line. APJ Abdul Kalam failed to become a pilot, but that failure made him a scientist who touched the sky. Rohan read those words over and over. For the first time, he didn't feel like a failure. He felt human. Fire Chapter 6, The Silent Comeback. The next morning, he looked in the mirror again. But this time, he didn't criticize. He simply said, "Let's try again." He started speaking small sentences in class, his hands shook, but he did it. He volunteered to read during seminars. He failed twice, stammered thrice, but kept going. He began writing daily affirmations. "I am enough. I am improving. I am trying, and that's brave." And slowly, people noticed something changing. Not his looks. Not his marks. His energy. His confidence. Sun Behind Small Cloud Chapter 7, The Speech. Months later, his college hosted an event, Speak Your Story. Students shared their struggles. Rohan's friends pushed him to participate. He was scared, but he remembered Mr. Arjun's note. Better than yesterday. When his name was called, his heart raced. He walked to the stage, hands trembling, voice shaking. He began softly. I used to hate mirrors. Because every time I looked into one, I saw what I wasn't. He took a pause. But then I realized, the mirror only shows what's outside. The real reflection lives inside, in how we see ourselves. He shared his story, about self-doubt, comparison, and learning to love himself again. When he finished, the hall was silent, and then filled with applause. He smiled, not for validation, but because, for the first time, he liked who he was. Dizzy Chapter 8, The New Reflection. Days turned into months. Rohan started mentoring juniors who felt the same way he once did. He'd tell them, don't believe everything your mind tells you. Sometimes, it lies. He became known for his kindness and calmness, not his marks. He was still ordinary, but beautifully so. Duff Chapter 9, The Truth in the Mirror. One evening, he stood again before the same mirror. He smiled and said, You're not perfect, Rohan, but you're real. The mirror didn't lie anymore. Because the boy who looked into it finally told himself the truth. Glowing Star Chapter 10, The Message. Gentle, closing tone. To everyone listening right now, if you've ever felt you're not enough, remember Rohan's story. You don't have to be the best. You just have to be yourself. And when you stop comparing, you start living. Dr. Kalam, Ambedkar, Einstein, none of them compared their start to someone else's finish line. They just kept walking, one honest step at a time. Outro. Soft voice. And that was The Mirror That Lied. A story for every soul that's ever doubted its worth. If this touched your heart, drop a comment saying, I am enough. Share it with a friend who needs to hear this today. You're listening to Inspire Talks, where every story reminds you, you're not broken. You're becoming.